Hey ladies, thanks for hopping on here today to watch my video. If you are here, my guess is that something in my words here spoke to you. Whether you are feeling stuck because you've been trying endlessly to diet and exercise to lose weight, or maybe you're just not feeling yourself anymore. You are feeling the symptoms that go along with either perimenopause or menopause. You might be feeling hot flashes, the insomnia, brain fog, just mood swings, all kinds of different things that just make you feel like you're just not yourself anymore. And I get that, okay? I've been there. I've gone through that very moment when you just look in the mirror and you go, oh my gosh, who is this person? I don't recognize this person anymore. So let me just take you a few years back. And I'm 52 now, but around the age of 47, 48, I started just really noticing some differences, okay? I had always been a pretty healthy person. Ever since about age 35, I really started getting into, health and fitness and things like that. That was just shortly after I had my daughter. And, I was feeling really good in my early 40s. And then all of a sudden, I started noticing some changes. I started noticing that all of this effort that I was putting in just wasn't getting the same results anymore. In fact, I was starting to feel just majorly fatigued, like all the time. I would get done with the workout. Sometimes I couldn't even finish a workout because I just felt so fatigued that I just would give up sometimes halfway through, and I would think, come on, Laura, push yourself, you can do this. But at some points, I just felt like I couldn't push myself, nor did I want to anymore. I started really, trying to even cut my calories more. I was having difficulties sleeping. I was having, just mood swings, like, depression, sadness, things that I had never really had before. In fact, I remember when I had that final aha moment, gosh, I think maybe I might be starting menopause or, perimenopause or something is going on here. It was a day I was at home with my family doing some cleaning around the house. I can't even remember specifically what happened, but I remember that I was vacuuming my house, and for some reason, my husband and my daughter were joking around with me about something, but I was super sensitive to it. And I got really upset, and I started just flying off the handle and yelling at them and then crying. And then I ran in my bedroom and I locked myself in my closet, and I was sitting on the floor there and I was just blubbering. I was just crying and crying, and I just all of a sudden stopped, and I was like, what is going on? This is not me. I'm not even normally that emotional of a person, but I have just totally lost it. I'm yelling at my family for no real reason, and something is going on here. And at that moment, I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I'm starting menopause. That would make sense. I've been tired a lot lately. I'm starting to put on some weight, especially around the middle here. My sleep just sucks. All of these different things. And so I was like, okay, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. I've got to be starting menopause. I need to do something about this. So I immediately made an appointment with a naturopath, because I've always been the kind of person that if I can do something naturally, that's the route I'm going to go. So I made an appointment with a naturopath, had a bunch of blood tests run, and, got my numbers back and found out, I definitely had some hormonal issues. So here's the thing. After going to the naturopath, she basically gave me a few prescriptions, told me a couple supplements to take, and just sent me on my way. And so I immediately went and, got those supplements and prescriptions filled. Was using some type of bioidenticals. And, I started to feel a little bit better, but just not really still myself. And I thought, okay, there's got to be more to it. There's something missing here. There's a reason why these things aren't working for me. And I need to get to the bottom of that. So let me tell you a little bit about my background. I am a holistic health practitioner and a fitness trainer and a nutrition coach. So I already had this background and had some knowledge of like how the body works and, and what type of foods that you should be eating and things like that. And I started kind of thinking back to, some of my schooling and all of that. And I started thinking, you know what I've learned is there's always root causes for things that are going on in your body. So what were the root causes? What was causing me to have all of these hormonal imbalances? What was causing this weight to come on? Because if I could fix those root causes, then maybe I wouldn't have those issues anymore. And that is what I started to do. So I spent like hours and hours just researching all of my symptoms, researching all of the natural ways that you can fix those symptoms, researching why I got to the point where I was at. And I started to put some protocols, I call them protocols, but just kind of steps into place that I began to do to fix those root causes. Okay. So I knew that I just taking those supplements and just taking those bioidenticals was kind of just putting a Band-Aid on the situation. And I really needed to get to those root causes and identify what they were and then start working on them to fix them, to bring my body back into balance. So if you are feeling this way, if you're feeling like you've tried everything else, or even if you've been taking bioidenticals or supplements and you're dieting and you're exercising and you're doing all these things and you're like, none of this is working, I get you, okay? I get where you are coming from. And I want to tell you right now that there is hope, okay? There is hope. I am now, 4 years down the road from that day when I sat in my closet crying, uncontrollably. And I don't have those moments anymore. In fact, I feel great. I have great energy. I don't struggle with my weight. I don't struggle with mood swings. I sleep well again. All of those symptoms that I was having, have disappeared. And so I want to tell you a little bit about like the steps that I took. It was a process, didn't happen overnight. But when I did those steps and I did them in the proper order and started to really repair and rebalance my body, that's when I started to see the changes. So the steps that I did, I've kind of narrowed them down into, I say, like 5 steps, okay? So the first step, I call it the remove step, okay? So what I had to do is really remove the things that I was doing or eating or putting on my body or doing as far as exercise went that were throwing my body out of balance, okay? So that was the first step. Now, let me tell you, these steps are the same for each person, but yet they're different, okay? Because the things that might have been throwing my body out of balance could be different for you. So it's very important that, that when you're doing these things, you're really doing it in an individualized manner. So figuring out what your root causes are, okay? And that's one of the really main things I really do with clients is I help them figure out, what their root causes are. It's not this cookie cutter program, one size fits all, because ladies, we are not one size fits all. So that remove step, okay? I removed those things that were really putting my body out of balance, that were taking my hormones and just throwing them totally out of whack. And after I removed those things, then what I did is I replaced them with the things that were going to benefit my body, okay? So I made sure that I removed those foods that were perhaps causing a lot of inflammation in my body. Inflammation is one of the leading causes of hormonal imbalances. So I replaced it with those nutrient-dense foods that were going to give my body what they needed in order to produce the hormones that I needed, okay? So I didn't go about starving myself anymore. In fact, I increased my calories because one of the issues was, and I find this with so many women that I work with, is I wasn't actually giving my body what it needed. I was exercising, and I wasn't giving my body the proper nutrition it needed to go along with that, okay? So in my second step, I replaced the things that I needed to remove, and I replaced it with the right type of exercise, with the right diet, okay, with the right lifestyle habits that were going to help to put my body into balance, okay? So after those steps, then I worked on doing some repairs to my body, all right? So many of the things that go on, especially as we are women in perimenopause and menopause, can have to do with the health of our gut and the health of our liver. So I really spent some time working on repairing those two functions, okay? So when we are going through perimenopause or menopause, it is natural for us to start to see some type of bloating and food sensitivities and different things like that. This can be caused by, some issues with not having as much digestive enzymes. It can be caused by some leaky gut, things like candida, SIBO, different things that can be going on in the body. So what I did is I had to identify what was going on in my body and work to fix those things. Those are the same steps that I take my clients through. We figure out, what are your digestive issues, okay? What do we need to do to help improve your liver functions? So much of what goes on in your body, your metabolism, your body's ability to digest foods, to get rid of toxins, all of these things are controlled by your gut and your liver. So this is a very important step in rebalancing your body and getting to your root causes. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys just some kind of brief, explanations of the steps that I took. Obviously, it is a lot more in depth of each thing that I did and each protocol that I took. After I worked on repairing things, now it was time to start working on balancing my hormones. So trying to balance your hormones, which is kind of what the naturopath was doing by, giving me some bioidenticals and giving me some supplements to take. But trying to do that without fixing those root causes first is kind of trying to, just go against a kind of an uphill battle. So once I kind of fixed those underlying causes, then I was able to work on balancing those specific hormones. So for each woman, this is very different. For some women, it could be a matter of low estrogen. For some women, it could be too much estrogen. It could be a matter of cortisol, too much stress, too much insulin or insulin resistance, a low thyroid, there's a lot of different scenarios, and for each woman, it is different. And that is why it is important to have your own individual plan. So I help women identify, where are your hormones off, and then what do we need to do to get them back into balance naturally, okay? So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with bioidenticals. Sometimes it's a good route for women to go. But I always say, if you can try to do it naturally on your own, why not go that route first and see if that works for you? So after going through those protocols to help, rebalance my hormones, then I really started to see some really big changes. I really started to feel the changes, and my body started to respond again. I started to see those abs again that I was losing because I was starting to get that menopause belly. And I started to just feel so much energy again. I mean, I was able to, really perform a full workout and give it all that I could, so that I actually started building muscle again, which I mean is crazy. Sometimes we think, oh, it's impossible to build muscle, in your 50s. But at 52 years old, I have probably more muscle than I have had in my life. So it's definitely possible. So after I took those 4 steps, then my last step was to kind of reintroduce some things back into my lifestyle. So in the beginning, I had removed some things. And then at the end, I kind of tested. I added some of those things back. Could I eat this again? Could I maybe do this type of exercise again? And I tested to see how my body reacted to that, so that I could really develop a plan that worked for me for the long term. Okay, so all of those steps that I took are steps that you can take too. And if implemented correctly, you will see results, okay? I have helped hundreds of women around the world go through these steps. Can you do these steps on your own? Can you figure them out on your own? Yes, you can. I mean, obviously, with the power of the internet, you can find a lot of information out there. But I'm going to tell you, it takes time. And for me, it took a lot of trial and error. And what I have tried to do is just cut down that time for you guys, because I really want you to see results. I want you to feel that confidence again. I know one of the biggest things for me is I just felt like I had lost a lot of the confidence that I had when I was younger. I felt like I looked in the mirror and I was like, I just didn't like the person that, I was seeing anymore. I had never really struggled before with my body confidence or things like that. But I was starting to, feel like I just didn't recognize this person anymore. And so I've talked to countless, just hundreds of women around the world that, are all feeling the same way. They're just feeling just frustrated and like they've lost hope because they've tried everything out there, and everything that they thought should work just isn't working anymore. And I have just been so fortunate to be able to help so many women gain that confidence back. And I have to tell you that is probably the most rewarding thing about what I do in working with women, is just really seeing women get their confidence back. And so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I do with my clients, and how the process goes, and how I really support you through all of these different steps. So basically what I am doing is I'm teaching you a lifestyle, okay? It's not a diet. It's not something that you're going to do for 30 days or 60 days or, or even just a year, okay? This is something that you're going to do as a lifestyle. But I'm going to teach you a way to do it that you can live your life with balance, okay? So that you're not feeling like you're living your life so restricted that it's just not worth it, okay? I'm going to teach you how you can eat healthy, flavorful food, okay? Not boring food, but healthy, flavorful food, and not be starving yourself. I'm going to teach you how you can exercise and really see results without spending hours and hours of doing like endless cardio or workouts that aren't getting you the results that you want. I am going to give you support throughout the whole steps that we go through. So for the first 8 weeks, I'm going to be in contact with you weekly. I'm going to be making sure that you are staying on track, that I'm answering your questions, that you know exactly week by week what steps you need to be taking in order to bring this balance back into your body. I am going to be giving you a 30-minute hormone consultation, okay? So I'm going to be doing a one-on-one call with you where we are going through your symptoms and identifying where the problems exist, and then working on protocols to repair those hormones, to rebalance them, okay? I'm going to make sure that all along the way that if we are not seeing the results that we want to see, that we are making the adjustments that are needed for you, okay? So that we're personalizing this program so that you get the results that you are looking for. I am going to have a weekly support for you with a Q&A with a Facebook Live every week, so you'll get to join that Facebook community. There'll be hundreds and hundreds of recipes that I will provide links to that meet the guidelines of what you can eat. So you're not struggling trying to figure out, okay, what do I eat from here? What are these, what are these foods that are going to work for me? I'm going to provide you with workouts, okay? The very workouts that I do with my clients in my studio, and these other workouts that have worked for me to help put on muscle, but to help boost my metabolism, but not spike that cortisol, okay? That cortisol that can actually make you put more weight on. So you've got a wide variety of workouts to choose from here. I am going to be giving you all of the tools that you need to make these lifestyle changes, okay? From everything to, how to sleep better, how much protein you should be eating, how much carbohydrates you should be eating, how to, eat out at dinner, and, everything that you need that you may have a question about in living this type of lifestyle, I'm going to give you the answer to. So, how does that sound? Does that sound like something that could help you actually finally not feel frustrated anymore? Finally get the results that you need? Finally get that confidence back that you need? I hope so, because, you don't have to live like this. And I am so thankful that I have taken the steps that I took. I'm so thankful to start feeling like myself again. And I don't think had I not implemented all those steps, I would be at the point that I am at today. That I would be confident again to be wearing a bikini, or I would feel just, from day to day, just happy and healthy and energetic, and and not depressed and not crying in my closet anymore. So again, if you're feeling these ways, it's time to take action. It's time to do something. It's time to take back control of your life, okay? Take back control of your body. I want you to have the results like so many of the women that I've worked with. In fact, I'm just going to give you a few just short testimonials of ladies that I've worked with, like Maureen, who said, I just wanted to let you know how much you have transformed my lifestyle. I'm 56 and always struggled with unhealthy eating. Pasta, bread, sweets, like all of us. Following your very doable program has made me feel so much better mentally and physically. This morning I weighed myself and I'm down to 144 pounds. I believe I started at 153, and even better, I've gained some muscle. So I'm sure I've dropped over 10 pounds of fat while gaining muscle. Most important is you've taught me not to feel like a failure when I revert back to old ways, but treat it as a learning experience and get back on track. It's a long-term lifestyle change. Your encouragement and knowledge make you worth your weight in gold. I'm so blessed to work with you. Thank you for being so special. So this person at 56 years old was able in a matter of 8 weeks to really see results. Okay, but now this is a lifetime program. So she has gone on from this time to continue to see more and more results. And because I want you to have that success, I am giving you lifetime access to this program so you can continue to use these tools, so you can continue to see results and look and feel your best. Let me just share another one with you. Okay, this one comes from Melinda, and she said, I definitely have more energy. I do not have a 3 p.m. crash anymore. More focus, and above all, better sleep. I'm down 7 pounds as of today, and that was at week 4 of the program. And my husband, who has been doing this to support me, has lost 10 pounds. Figures, don't men always do that? This is huge. I've been working with a personal trainer and trying to lose weight for 2 years. I just kept gaining. With this program, I feel healthier and stronger. I'm definitely planning to continue this after this program. Laura, you are so awesome. So, reading those testimonials, and each time I get a new testimonial in, I just am so excited. I'm so excited to see these women feeling the changes, seeing the changes. And you can too. I've got hundreds of more testimonials like that I could share, but I don't want to keep you guys on here all day long. You get the gist. But anyways, it's time to take action now. If you're feeling this way, it's time to do something, and I would love to help. So all the information that I maybe missed in this video is on this page. You can read a little bit more in depth about the program and then get signed up. Let's start working today. Let's take back control of your life. Let's take back control of your body. You have a great day.